Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm just giving you an update on where I'm at with my selling of my house. We are under contract. I do have a potential buyer who has put down a deposit, and we are in the inspection period. And they just had their full inspection yesterday, and there's only one issue, and that is that the wiring in this house is quite old. There's nothing technically wrong with the wiring as far as I know, but it did not show up as a hazard on the inspection that I had done, but it did. I think it is showing up as a hazard on the buyer's inspection. So what they are going to do is Monday, in a couple of days, they're having an electrician come out and do a full inspection of the electrical system, which I think is a good thing, because if there is an issue, I definitely want to know about it. If it is something that would cause a buyer to back out, I definitely want to get it taken care of. And I received information about this when I bought the house, and there was some concern at that point in time, but what I realized was that, it wasn't an urgent issue. It didn't stop me from buying the house, and I had put aside some money that if I wanted to get the house rewired and all the electrical redone, I was going to do that. But I've only been in the house 2.5 years, and a few other things has happened in the last couple of years that have kind of taken the urgency and the focus away from doing a lot of renovation type things on the house. So I am nervous that this might scare them off, and I'm really hoping that they love the house enough to come back to me and the realtor with what they're going to need to make them comfortable in going through with the deal. It may mean that I'm going to have to give up more money than I planned on doing, but I'm prepared for that. And as I said, I already had budgeted to get this work done at some point. So, if that's what it takes to go through with the sale, then that's what I'm going to do. To say that this isn't causing me any stress would be, a lie. This is part of the roller coaster of this big move that I'm making. And so I'm simultaneously extremely excited about, closing this deal and being able to move on to the next chapter, and also worried that it's going to fall through. If this deal falls through, am I going to get another buyer in time? My plan is to get out of here in 2.5 months. And if I haven't sold the house by then, it's going to make things much more complicated. And it's going to make it really hard for me financially to go ahead and do what I want to do, to retire, live off my savings and all of that, if I have this obligation of this financial obligation of the house. So it's very critical that I sell the house for my whole plan, because the whole plan falls apart if I can't sell the house. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. And I have to keep going back to my faith that everything is going to happen in the way it's supposed to happen, in the timing that is supposed to happen. And it's not going to be easy. I'm asking for this. I'm choosing this. I have to remind myself of that. And I'm grateful that I'm in a position that I can choose this. I don't have $1 million in my retirement savings, but I have enough that I can do what I'm planning to do. And if I don't have enough, I'm going to figure it out. If I have to go back to work, I will. But I think that if I don't do this thing, if I don't take off and travel and explore and do all these things I've been dreaming of, and soon, while I still have enough energy and, stamina and excitement to do it all physically, I'm I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna regret it so much. And so I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make that happen. And I am, I'm keeping the faith that everything's gonna work out fine. So if you have recently sold a house, or if you have stories about what it was like to sell your house, if you have also retired, or you're also where I am, or you're right on the edge of retiring and breaking free and following your dreams, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. I'd love to know that there are more of us out there that are making things happen and deciding that we're just not going to wait anymore. Life is for living. Tomorrow is not promised. And you have to be grateful for every day and make the most of it. So if you're interested in this journey, I'm just doing this to document the process for myself and for anybody else who's interested. Just, like, subscribe, do all the things. And I'm dedicated to keep making these videos to chart the progress and to look back on in the future and see how far I've come. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.